What is property DC valuation? Image end result for property DC valuation. The fee for the responsibility is taken from the DC valuation table. For the valuation of the property, distinct traits are used, such as vicinity and kind of the property. Right now, the provincial governments are charging stamp responsibility on rural immovable residences at 3% of the DC rate. This pricing gadget was once brought a long time in the past when the authorities used to be unable to song transactions in the actual property market. Through this static DC rate, it used to be in a position to gather taxes in accordance to the price of the property set in the DC valuation table. Currently, provincial governments are the usage of the district collector valuation of immovable homes to calculate the stamp responsibility and capital cost tax. According to the Stamp Act, the stamp obligation on the property shall be charged in accordance to the fee of the property. The price for the obligation is taken from the DC valuation table. For the valuation of the property, exceptional traits are used, such as region and kind of the property. Right now, the provincial governments are charging stamp responsibility on rural immovable homes at 3% of the DC rate. For city properties, 1% is charged for stamp obligation in accordance to the DC evaluated rates. These prices are calculated at the time of mutation. The provincial governments of Punjab and Sindh have delivered the e-stamp DC valuation machine via which human beings can effortlessly locate out the DC charge of the houses in the chosen area. With rising uncertainty in the inventory and bond markets, greater humans have started out to make investments in actual property as it is much less unstable and affords a greater return on investment. On the different hand, some are nevertheless reluctant to make investments in this area due to fallacious authorities' policies. One such coverage for actual property is the district collector valuation of immovable properties. In order to supply insight into this pricing system, Grana.com, Pakistan's smartest property portal, discusses DC valuation beneath and how it is impacting the actual estate market. Real estate valuation systems. In the actual property market, there are two valuation systems, DC valuation and FBR valuation for immovable properties. The federal government added the DC charge to counter the trouble of unofficial property transactions in the sector. However, the hole between DC and the market charge pushed the authorities to introduce the Federal Board of Revenue Property Valuation System. However, this device additionally proved to be inaccurate as the FBR price is specific from the market fee as well. The authorities brought these structures to calculate exclusive taxes on any actual property transaction. There are four kinds of taxes that the government collects. Stamp obligation and capital price tax are gathered through the provincial authorities, and the different two withholding and capital acquire taxes are accumulated by means of the federal government. The distinction in FBR and DC valuation. Following is the evaluation between the valuation of FBR and DC for specific sectors of DHA Lahore. These DC and FBR property fees aren't in accordance to the market rates, which lets in humans to underreport the transactions. Hence, the dollars above the DC or FBR fee are now not contributing to the economy, which subsequently creates a black market for actual property transactions. These valuation structures haven't allowed the actual property market to develop, which has the conceivable to make contributions to monetary increase in the country. There are additionally distinctive industries that are immediately linked with actual estate, such as cement, steel, ceramics, etc., which can increase the economic system as well. Apart from the significance of actual property in financial growth, the social dimension of actual property can't be ignored. Besides the underreporting problem, there is a lack of statistics involving income and availability of property in the actual property sector. There is constantly a disparity between the market rate and the charge set by way of the government, specifically given that solely the actual property retailers are conscious of the nuances of the market. While the authorities has all the equipment and sources to accumulate the required information, they appear to be missing in putting expenditures accurately. Conclusion. According to the government, barring the presence of a pricing system, humans will underreport the transaction, which will permit them to pay fewer taxes. However, these structures additionally allow them to keep away from taxes as there is a disparity in the market and authorities' prices. This is why the authorities wants to set these prices in accordance to the market rate, or they have to come up with a gadget that will make property transactions extra transparent.